Hi, everybody. Queen Crystal King in the building. Lord, I have been up half the night trying my best not to scratch myself to death because one of the side effects of this medicine, it makes me itch. So Benadryl and I have been trying to get along all morning long. So I figure while I'm waiting for my Benadryl to help me stop itching, I'll talk about how I almost gave away my energy today. Well, it's yesterday now, so how I almost gave away my energy yesterday. Now, I'm going to have to break this down to the simplest common denominator. And I say that because a lot of times things don't have to be so complicated. Now, when you're raising children and they go to school and they say, "Oh, I met a friend today." Well, that's good. What's your friend's name? Okay. Well, what do you like about them? You know, and your baby talks to you about who they met at school. They got their first little friend. And you usually send your baby to school with an extra snack just in case. He might want a little something else. Come to find out, he hasn't been eating his extra snack. He's been passing it off to this little person that he now calls his friend. So, okay, you're sharing your snack. That's nice. Now you have two more friends. Now you need two more snacks. Okay, you're going through your snacks kind of fast now. What are you doing with these snacks? Are you eating them? No, I'm making friends. Sweetie, that's not the way to make friends. You introduce yourself. They introduce themselves. And you play, you talk, you share your toys, and whether you have a snack or not, this little person should still be your friend. Well, this one particular morning, I sent you with just enough snacks for yourself. Now you come home and you're upset because now you don't have any friends, you say. Does this have anything to do with your snacks? If I'd have had more snacks, I'd have had more friends. Now I have to teach this child that that's not the way you make friends. You can offer to share, but if the requirement for you to be this person's friend is to keep giving them your snacks, and the more snacks you have, the more friends you have. And we're going to have a little talk about friendship. So I think about different things that I see here on YouTube. This one's my friend. That one's my friend. I rock with this one. I rock with that one. Well, what if I don't agree with you this day? Are we still friends? No, no, you're not friends. All of a sudden, when I try to get your attention, you're ignoring me and you don't want with a whole different crowd of people. And I already know that if I agree with you and do everything that you're doing and say everything that you're saying, we'll be friends. But as soon as I don't agree with you, then we're not friends anymore. This is what I'm seeing. And I saw some things and it almost made me give my energy away. When you see a person being who they are, talking how they normally talk, doing what they normally do, everything that needs to be said, you don't have to be the one to say it. But there I go, feeling like I should say something. But at whose expense would I be saying this? See, the people that I call friends, whether we agree or disagree, we still cool. If the only way we're going to be friends is if I constantly agree with what you're talking about, and I know for a fact what you're talking about, I don't agree with, then maybe we're not friends. I also realize that I tend to take things a little bit more serious than the person that I'm trying to befriend or, in my mind, stay friends with. If you go here and you go there and you talk about this one and you talk about that one, then that shows that you're down with me. But you can't disagree with me or you're not loyal. You can't go in this one's chat or you're not loyal. You can't hang out and say what's on your mind, because in order to be this person's friend and to show them loyalty, you have to ignore who you are, what you already know to be right, and what you already know to be wrong. But forget about all that. Forget about how it makes you feel. Forget about the fact that you're now a go along to get along. Forget about the fact that you're always asking them how they're doing, but they don't ask you how you're doing. And again, you have to agree with everything that they're doing, or you're not loyal and you're not a friend. Well, that is called peer pressure. And that's the lesson that I had to teach my youngest son. Happy go lucky little kid, but he loved having kids to play with. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't give him the wrong impression of how to make a friend. It's okay to share. That's fine. But why can't they share sometime? Why does it always have to be on you? But then when it comes down to consequences, who gets thrown under the bus? You. Well, this one particular day, the little person that you thought was your friend, he's got snacks. And I didn't have any snacks to put in your lunch that day. Well, not the snacks that you wanted, because you kept giving them away to make friends, which I later found out. Do you think they offered you any of their snacks? No. As a matter of fact, they said you was begging. And you were hurt. And you came back and you told me about it. So now I need to explain to you that you may know this little child's name. You may see him around. You really don't know him. And friends have a give and take relationship. You look out for each other, not just you looking out for them. You still don't understand because you really like that person. But I'm going to teach you a lesson. And I'm going to make sure that you have enough for yourself. Let's see who offers you a snack. This one little person that sits by you every day, always says please and thank you. Whatever you need, they help you with. But you got to have that friend, not the one that's treating you decent, not the one that's got your back. You got to have that friend. Well, okay then. You go right ahead and you have that friend. Now your feelings are hurt. And I asked you, do you understand why your feelings are hurt? Mommy, I didn't listen. I kept trying to find snacks to give them so they would be my friend. But when I didn't have any more snacks, they didn't want to be my friend. Well, baby, guess what? They were never your friend in the first place. So I'm seeing these same behaviors on YouTube. And what's really startling to me is these grown people learning kindergarten lessons in their 40s and 50s, maybe raising kids. Well, you're out here doing the peer pressure thing at your age. It makes no sense. I don't like seeing people taken advantage of. I don't like being taken advantage of. But when you think about it, if you really backtrack that thing, was I a victim or was I a volunteer? Wasn't I warned about buying friends? Wasn't I warned about feeling like I needed something in my hand or some type of receipt or a phone number or address or in order to kick it with this person? Wasn't I warned about that and I didn't take heed? Now I'm hurt and I want everybody to understand why I'm hurt. Oh, we understand why you're hurt. We tried to spare you that. Hopefully you've learned what you needed to learn so you don't have to hurt like that anymore. Well, unfortunately, it happens a few more times. But when you get tired of people taking your kindness for a weakness and the fact that every now and then you just want to kick it and that you may not always have something in your hand, you may not always have a receipt, you may not always agree. At what expense to myself? At what expense? What's the price that I pay to be your friend? Friendship shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be a watch your back type of thing. It shouldn't be a thing where you're just going along minding your business and you hear somebody that you've never even met before in your life tell you everything you said last week, punctuation and all. And it hurts so bad you try to play it off, but you can't. You're trying to be true to yourself, but you end up lying, acting like it don't bother you. But when you finally get honest and say, you know what? I think this is very childish. If we're going to be cool, if we're going to be friends, then we need to get a few things straight, especially if it's not organic. You're going to try to force that puzzle piece and you're going to feel it because it doesn't belong. It's okay to stand alone. You don't have to be surrounded by a bunch of people to feel secure. When you find out who you are and you stand for what you believe is right or wrong, whether this person is friends with you or not, you don't have to worry about that because you have a family, you have a life, you have other things that you've invested your energy and your time into that you don't have to keep giving away your energy like that for someone not to appreciate it. And I almost gave away my energy. And all I had to do is just sit back and allow things to take its course. I thought I would learn a lesson or two. Maybe I just learned one. And that lesson is everything that has to be said, I don't have to be the one to say it. And if I can't come to you as I am, then I won't come to you at all. I would rather be a whole, secure me than a quarter of me just in order to be with you. I see that a lot. I see people who are just willing to do whatever just to belong, knowing that they're not happy. But you could say you hanging with this one and you hanging with that one, and that's your friend. Well, you can start with the definition of friend. And a person that you meet doesn't always have to be your friend. They could be just someone you meet, a passerby, a casual hello. Nothing has to be etched in stone. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it's okay. I'm so tired of seeing these grown people go through this peer pressure on YouTube. It's embarrassing. And I'm the one that'll say, when it starts to affect your reality, it's time to log off or you're too invested. I sit back and I'm watching. And I'm telling you, it is really embarrassing to see this. Gotta gotta do better. Gotta do better. Don't be afraid to stand alone. Just because you're by yourself, it doesn't mean that you're lonely. It just means that you're just standing there by yourself. But who you are, you carry within. So how you present yourself to people is how they will receive you sometimes. Because if a person is just hell bent on not liking you, they just don't like you. So, yeah, I almost gave my energy away. And you know how precious my energy is to me. The same lesson I had to teach my son is the same lesson some of these grown adults need to learn again. The simplest of simplest things. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you. They may not even feel that way. They may just see you as, well, I'm going to go over there and sit by her today because she always has the good snacks. Not, there's my friend. But when you realize that that's all you're being used for, your snacks, it's up to you how you want to handle that. I just don't understand how you could come, excuse me, how you could come to the age that you are now, like over 40, and still have to go through these acrobatics and antics and lies and schemes and sabotage and receipts and recordings and that's way too much work. That's way too much work. For me it is. So I got a chance to keep my energy. I maneuver myself in a different situation. And I just decided to go on with my day. And it really wasn't that deep anyway. Because half of them don't even remember your name. You know that person that be in that chat with so and so? Oh, you know that one that's got the avatar that looks like so and so? And you're acting like the world is coming to an end if this person doesn't like you, or if this person is not kicking it with you, or if you don't agree with every lie they tell, then you're going to get blocked. So be it. My energy is way too precious to me to be brown nosing behind somebody. And that's not what I'm saying that actually happened. I'm saying that the golden rule, simple as that, if you don't catch that early, then you'll be an adult out here acting like a fool, running behind people who really don't care about you, just using you, and you're not a victim. You're a volunteer. Because see, I firmly believe that the Lord puts people in your path to spare you things. Now, whether you accept it or reject it, that has a lot to do with how much energy you've given away. I hope this made sense because it did to me. It's just that simple. At what expense to me, what do I need to give up or sacrifice just to be cool with you? Not a damn thing. Because I'm really seeing some things that are really disturbing. Really disturbing. Be yourself. Be good to yourself. That way you know what time it starts and what time it ends. Shop for yourself. Because guess what? You know what you like. Cook for yourself. You know what you want to eat. You don't have to just settle for what's put in front of you. There are so many choices. But you got to live in that choice, though, once you make it. Some choices can be lesson learned and you don't have to repeat it, or you'll just keep bumping your head on the same wall. I choose for today to be a calm, relaxing day, hopefully. I'm going to work towards it. Got a little housework to do. Now, see, had I gave away that energy, I probably wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm one of those people that I can't step over you if I see that you fell. But I'm also one of those people who don't see that you just saw me coming and you laid there and act like you fell because you know I'm the type of person that'll reach out to you. You know, God's getting tired of his people being used. So even if you got over a couple times, you did whatever that's worth to you. But when it's time for you to go your way and I go mine, when I'm done, done, and oh, by the way, done, I feel no way about it. I don't feel a way about it one way or the other because I've already resolved it mentally, physically, and spiritually. Why I'm making the decision that I make. And last but not least, I'm covered. I am truly covered. So, yeah, I need all my energy. I need it all. So, I hope that this causes someone to pause and realize that I hope you're not on the receiving end of that being used part. And if you are, you can still make a different choice. Hell, just do better. Do better. You get better when you do better. And it used to be a thing where when you know better, you do better. Excuse me. That's not always true. Sometimes you do know better. You just feel like doing what you want to do. But if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. Everybody, have a blessed day. And hopefully, you've understood what I've tried to break down to the simplest common denominator. Thank you guys for listening. Love, peace, and chicken grease.